Hello, thanks for joining me today. I am Dr. Gili Segal. I'm a clinical assistant professor and a clinical psychologist at the NYU Langone Child Study Center, and I'm part of the Autism Spectrum Service. And I will talk today about mindfulness for kids and individuals with autism spectrum disorder and their families. So, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness means maintaining a moment by moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, body sensations, and surrounding environment. We're able to do so by focusing and maintaining our awareness to the same point of focus on purpose and for something that is existing here and now. We're trying our best to tune into what we're sensing in the present moment, not ruminating on the past or planning for the future. Mindfulness also involves acceptance. This is a key term here, meaning that we pay attention to our thoughts, to our feelings without judging them, without believing, for instance, that they are right or wrong, and without judging ourselves, our way of functioning, or the situation. Sometimes we take our thoughts and feelings too seriously, and life could be challenging, but do we want our thoughts and feelings to be an addition, another level of challenge that's added to our daily struggles? Sometimes situation is hard enough, but our thoughts might actually make it even more challenging. So it's so helpful in moments of stress if we could be aware to what's going on our mind, if we remind ourselves that we want to observe our thoughts, our feelings, of course, take them into account if relevant, but remember, these are just thoughts. This is not necessarily true. And not let the thoughts and feelings be everything. Our aim is to be able to watch our thoughts, acknowledge them, but not believing them all the time just because it's a thought. I will be aware to this thought from perspective, like maybe watching a movie or hearing a story. Okay, in mindfulness, we use an anchor. It could be our breath, which is really useful because it's always there and it has this kind of a steady rhythm. Our anchor could be other things like our body sensations, our heartbeats, a certain sound or a smell around us, anything that we can attune to. And we want to bring our awareness to the anchor as a way to stay in the present moment. And when thoughts or feelings or other experiences arise, we will try to note these thoughts non judgmentally, remember, and then return our awareness to the present via our anchor, via our breath. It will happen a lot that our mind will bring to our attention other things, such as certain emotions or something in the environment, like the temperature or sounds around us. And we'll forget about our anchor and pay attention to these other things. That's okay. It's part of the process, and we will just try our best to get back to our anchor. Sometimes we will try to get back and notice our anchor, but it will be hard and our attention will split between the anchor and other things. That's okay too. We'll try to notice what just happened and get back to our anchor. So, mindfulness is not just the initial moment of awareness, but more of a continuous awareness and being able to notice, hey, my attention has wandered, and then being able to put that attention back onto whatever we want our attention to be on. So, again, mindfulness. In mindfulness, we are trying our best to tune into what we're sensing in the present moment. And if our mind wanders, we just go back to the present moment, to our anchor. We've talked about what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is not the future, past, worrying, being happy. And one of the common misconceptions is that mindfulness is a relaxation technique. If you're practicing mindfulness expecting to relax, that's not mindfulness. If it's a byproduct, that's amazing. But the main purpose in mindfulness is again to keep the focus of our awareness in a non judgmental way. So, researchers demonstrated the benefits for mindfulness practice for the general population and also for individuals, specifically kids with ASD and their parents. So it could be very helpful. It was associated with better attention processes, which we know that are very relevant for kids with autism spectrum disorder, ASD. We also know that there is a really good improvement in emotion regulation, which is a big challenge for many individuals with ASD, and for stress management. If you have ASD, you could probably benefit from mindfulness just like anyone else. So this is Sam. He is a 7 years old child with ASD, autism. He's very friendly and happy most of the time, but the last year or so hasn't been very easy for him and for his family. He had COVID-19, hybrid learning, many changes in routine that have made him very stressed and affect significantly his thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. If he will practice mindfulness and will be more trained in focusing his attention on his anchor, his breathing, his heartbeats, even for a few minutes a day, his upsetting thoughts will probably not go away. They will still be there, but he will move the focus from his worries to his anchor, which is not upsetting. Then it will probably be more possible for him to regulate himself and then to get back to his math assignment or just try to ask his parents' help. It might just be the difference between acting out and communicating his feelings in a helpful way. Okay, more benefits for practicing mindfulness with kids with ASD. With many mindfulness exercises that actually don't require language and can be practiced easily non-verbally. This is a huge thing for parents and caregivers of children who are not verbal. This is also a skill that allows integration of body and mind work, trying to focus our awareness on our sensory input and to move our focus from more cognitive and emotional based inputs. Mindfulness practice could take place at home with a parent, at school with a teacher or a para, not requiring any special materials or too much time, and is available everywhere. Last point, we could practice mindfulness individually or in a group setting, which is a huge benefit for certain individuals. So let's try and practice 2 minutes of mindful breathing together. First, I want you to find a comfortable posture, maybe sitting or lying on your back, and let your arms and legs rest in a relaxed position. If it feels comfortable to you, close your eyes. If not, just try to gaze softly somewhere around the room. Let's bring our attention to the present moment by noticing how we're feeling physically. Let's scan our body from head to toe and consciously try to be aware to any tension or feeling around our body. Now let's bring our attention to our breathing. Try to notice the sensation of your breath going in and out of your nostrils, maybe your mouth. You can also try to pay attention to the rise or fall of your chest or belly as you breathe. Pick your nostrils or chest or belly. What's easiest for you to focus on? Follow the breath for its full duration from the start to finish. Notice that the breath happens on its own without any conscious effort. Maybe slow, it may be fast, maybe shallow, maybe deep. You don't need to control your breath, just notice it. When your mind wanders, you can make a mental note out of it. For example, if you start thinking about your plans for after this webinar, you could say to yourself, planning. If your mind is pulled to a sensation of pain in your body, you can say to yourself, pain. Then gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Keep noticing the way that you breathe. When you feel you're ready to end this practice, open your eyes slowly and easily at your own pace. Please take a few more seconds as you're back from your mindfulness experience to think how it was for you. How are you now? Please remember, during mindfulness practice, your mind may wander away many, many times, even if it's just for 2 minutes. That's okay. That's quite natural. Your aim is to acknowledge that and gently bring your focus back to your breath. Try not to judge yourself and just bring your awareness back. Okay, another really fun practice that we have is called body scan. Let's take another deep breath. Inhale fresh air. Let in through our nose. Feel the air entering our body through our nostrils. Bring your attention to your head, to your face, to your facial muscles. They could be soft and relaxed. They could be a bit tense. That's okay. Just notice. Next step, let's move to our neck. Let's pay attention to the weight of our head on our neck. How does it feel? Light? Heavy? Then let's move to our shoulders. Let's shift the focus of our attention to our shoulders. Maybe one shoulder feels a bit higher than the other. Maybe one feels softer or more tight. That's okay. Just be aware and keep your awareness on your shoulders. When other thoughts are coming, just notice them too. Try to get back to your body. Let's move on to our arms, to our hands. If they're not exactly the same, that's okay too. That's very common. Try to be aware. Try to bring your attention back to our body. Let's notice our belly. Try to notice how soft or tight it is. Try to be aware to every sensation. And let's move on to our legs now. Try to feel how tense they are, how relaxed. Notice where they're touching your floor maybe, or the seat that you're sitting on. Let's be aware of our full whole body, head to toe. Notice any pressure, any sensation. Let's all take a good breath of air. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so we can definitely try and find different moments during our days to practice with our children. For example, eat with your child a snack or a fruit and try to get to know every detail in it. It can be a dried blueberry or a raisin, but only one. Lay it on your tongue, just feel it on your tongue. Bite it slowly, slowly, second by second. Try to feel every drop of juice or every crumb. The same when blowing bubbles. Encourage your child to pay attention to the bubbles as they form, as they pop or float away. Look at the bubbles' colors, shapes. Try to smell the soapy smell when they pop. The same with a song. You can try to sing or dance together and really focus on the words, the music, the different instruments playing. And also when hugging your child, prepare them. Tell them this is going to be a long, soft hug in which both of us could try and feel the other's heartbeats, warmth, or breath. Let's do it together for as long as we both like. Okay, very important. First, try to practice mindfulness for yourself. Check that it feels right for you before you try to practice with your child. Always try to involve your child in the decision process. Okay, when we'll try it, where, which exercise, the bubbles or the hug. Try to use the practice as an opportunity to communicate with your child. Don't be afraid to share that it was hard for you too or that you got distracted. That's part of the process. Okay, remember, it's a process, it's not a magic trick. But this journey could certainly be filled with interesting experience for both of you. So, is mindfulness the ultimate cure for human suffering? Unfortunately, not. It's not fixing anything in reality. It's not necessarily lessen our suffering or our stress. It might, but as a side benefit, it just helps us see the world more clearly, be more aware to the current moment as is without judging ourselves or others. And if you are interested in it, if you're curious about it, give it a try. If you are curious, this is a good opportunity to share that we at the Child Study Center offer a telehealth group for sessions of stress management for parents of children with developmental disabilities, autism, and other conditions as well, and was found to be effective. It includes introduction and practice of mindfulness exercise together with acceptance and commitment therapy elements for better coping with higher levels of stress. If you might be interested and would like to get more information, please reach out and email us at this email that is now on your screen. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to answer your questions and to give you our recommendations. Good luck, everybody. Take care. Be safe. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.